Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back again with another episode in our ACI-FCPA and Global Anti-Corruption podcast speaker series. Today, I'm thrilled to have with me Rodrigo Cunha. Rodrigo, first of all, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Tom, for having me.
Rodrigo, could you tell us your current role in compliance?
I'm a Chief Compliance Officer at a Belgian chemical distributor named Manuchar, which is owned by a US private equity fund, Lone Star. But I like to define my role as convincing people to defend their decision-making process with a straight face. This is what we do as compliance, right? It's about integrity, it's about doing a pre-mortem exercise before you make a decision and not just a post-mortem to do the lessons learning exercise. The other thing that I also like to say that compliance is about persuasion, right? Normally people don't think about compliance as they think about sales or marketing. And one of the most important jobs that we have as CCOs is to convince, to persuade people that compliance is not an afterthought. It's about living up to our integrity commitments, right? Towards our stakeholders and even towards our families, right? We all want to do the right thing.
So, Rodrigo, could you give us a teaser of your panel or your presentation or what you hope to communicate? And your panel is entitled Compliance in Motion, How to Retool Your Compliance Program for Speed, Flexibility, and Resilience to meet the demands of today's changing landscape.
It's a very long name, Tom. I agree with you. So what I want to communicate in the panel is something that I have been thinking a lot over the past few years about the role of compliance. I think all of us have been in a world where there was major cases, huge enforcement, especially by the US around anti-bribery and corruption. Then the war broke out in Russia, and that made sanctions, trade sanctions, even more important than it was before. But now I think a lot of organizations, especially the ones that do business globally, they're seeing that stick of compliance fading away a bit, and we need to reinvent ourselves. And I think one of the key roles that we need to play is the people or the professionals that can read the room and understand how compliance can keep adding value to the organizations even without that stick. Trying to understand where the carrot can be the biggest prize for a company. So I tend to talk about compliance in terms of value protection, which is essentially protecting the company from fines and investigations, and value creation. I think we have a lot of tools in our toolbox. We're good project managers. We need to be good communicators. And that's not only for compliance, right? We can expand our remit into internal controls. We can expand our remit in terms of enterprise risk management. And that's where I see compliance evolving, right? Using our tools, using our skills to expand the function beyond the regular risk domains that we look at. I think the fact that we look at things with that approach of designing a program or policies or rules around risk, then empowering people and ourselves to implement those policies and then checking effectiveness is not something that we can use only for laws and regulations, right? It's something that we can use across the business. And that's where I am, and this is what I wanted to defend and advocate for.
Rodrigo, could I ask you what you hope to get out of this year's conference?
First of all, a lot of learnings, right? To see what other people are doing in compliance, learn from regulators, what is it that you're thinking, especially now with all the geopolitical challenges that we see. And I think that's going to be a key point for me during the conference. The second one, obviously connecting, which is one of the major benefits of a conference like that, where you can really connect with your peers, people that are living the compliance world and doing it day in, day out. I think that's also very valuable. But lastly, and I think this is one of the things that I see a big value in all the different conferences that I go around compliance, is about getting more comfortable being uncomfortable. Because essentially I see these conferences as like a sort of a collective therapy session, because there are many challenges for all of us, right? And it's okay not to have the answers. Sometimes it's okay also to share our concerns and see that everybody else is concerned about the same topics, so we can join our skills, right, and our experiences and try to come up with solutions that can work for all of us. Those are the three things that I would like to get out of the conference, and I'm sure I will.
Rodrigo, I for one am greatly looking forward to your panel, and I hope to meet up with you at the ACI-FCPA and Global Anti-Corruption Conference next month. Thank you so much.
Likewise, Tom. Thank you.